This has serious implications for the San Diego Padres. Two of their superstar bats, big news out the gate with one series in the book. Let's talk about what is going on with Xander Bogaerts right there, Luis Arraez, and a couple of the other key San Diego Padres, and some of what may be overreaction, some of what may be red flags, and some of what may be great news that has playoff-level implications for the San Diego Padres. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the part before we get back to everything where I got to remind you we are a new channel, and we love you guys, and we appreciate you guys, but for all of the Padre watching and consuming and getting you back content, you only got to do one thing for me. That is hit that subscribe button, because it helps me out. It raises my WAR as a podcaster. We're all stats people here as baseball people, but it makes it easier for you. Just every time you log on to YouTube, more content sitting there waiting for you while we ride emotionally shotgun with you all season long, including for the Xander Bogaerts Redemption Tour. I don't know. Is Redemption Tour to dismiss it? He didn't have a great season last year. That is for certain. This hit right here is one of a couple that he has had so far this season, and I would say that the stat line here that I'm showing you, I'm not going to say he's playing worth his value, because he is an incredibly expensive shortstop, and he is somebody that we are paying to probably hit up into the low 300s with 20-something homers and all that. But given that he was practically dead weight, if not an outright negative last season, to have Xander Bogaerts at this point in the year, 4 games in, hitting the ball into play, hitting doubles, hitting extra bases. You see on there, it was the wrist last year that was kind of largely believed to be the culprit, if you will, for what was keeping him down, if not just outright. Baseball players sometimes have an off year. He had all of that surrounding him. And coming into this season, I have been actively voicing, hey, if he doesn't hit well, we got to dish him. Even if he hits only okay, he might still be somebody who, for the amount that we're paying and our ownership having talked about wanting to move on from some other players, is this really the value that we want to be getting out of our key star shortstop, or are there more economic ways to do it? But the implications to me that he is already at least hitting the ball and not starting out ice cold, sort of just like he's still in his head. He's still like there. To me, there is no doubt that he is an improved baseball player at this point in the season from where he was last year, and where his projections, if people were saying he's going to carry over from last year into this year with that kind of funk still. So I think that the implications here are that maybe he's not necessarily World Series Xander, but that he is a productive Xander, and he is a Xander who is here and is ready to be a contributing non-negative member of the San Diego Padres lineup. And I think that if Xander disappears into the background and ends up, if this stat line projects right here that we have out for the season, and he hits in the 270s, say 15 home runs, 70-ish RBI, something like in that kind of model, what do you think? Drop a comment below. Let me know if you think that is enough, if that's not cutting it, if that is more than you expected and want. I think that if he can hit this, if he can be a 270 hitter, then at the very least he's not a negative, and he can go on the back burner in terms of things that I would worry about as the San Diego Padres. We still got to find an offensive catcher. We still got to find a left fielder that's a long-term solution there, and some other things like that. But if we cannot have Xander as a net negative all season long, then I think that, and this is tricky math to kind of do in your head right here, if you're not a net negative, you are an immense positive. Like, the Padres team right now just needs to not have complete dead spots in the lineup where it's double plays, strikeouts, no RBIs, all that kind of stuff. If Xander is just competent enough that we can leave him at shortstop and not have to worry about platooning pieces, and then we can have Iglesias step up into, he can now take some of the load off of Manny. He can back up Jake. He can do some other things. And then the Padres really, I think, are in their prime form where they have bit pieces and roles to sort of make sure that everyone can stay healthy. Because to me, baseball is about longevity, and it's about doing the sustainable things over the course of a season to get you into that position where you got to beat the Dodgers 4 out of 7. So that to me is kind of the formula for Padres success this year. So looking at it right now, to me, the implications are huge that I got Jurickson Profar in the mind. If Xander Bogaerts is hitting at least okay right now, that is a hugely positive sign. On the flip, hear me out on this. This is a weird one right here. The other major bat that I want to talk about is Luis Arraez, and that is because right now he is ice cold. But in the flip of my entire Xander Bogaerts argument, Luis Arraez being ice cold might be the best thing to happen to the San Diego Padres at all. You can see here this tweet from MLB Network. He's 0 for 13 right now to start the season. That 0 for 13 thankfully doesn't include strikeouts. He has an RBI. He's hit the ball a little bit here. I'll show you the stats in just a second. But last season he did ostensibly the same thing, and then he went on to win a batting title. Let me show you the stat. How can you argue with this? And I know that the likelihood of it happening multiple times in a year where a guy starts an exact 13-0 type of thing and then goes on to win another batting title and another batting title seems difficult, but hear me out. If this guy just has a thing where at the beginning of the season he needs to accumulate some at-bats, you see sometimes players at the veteran MLB level don't spend all that much effort into spring training. If Arraez was striking out and whiffing and making bad misses, I would be worried. But him being right where he is, I've seen some comments, and let me know below what you think. If you want more of a red flag to be raised by this, if you want this to be something that is more concerning. But right now, those numbers right there indicate to me that he's just right where he needs to be. And the fact that he's not striking out is my not concern about that. So I think that him being right where he needs to be, plus Xander being improved from where Xander was last season, has me really excited. And the implications to me are that the Padres obviously have this guy. We obviously have Merrill. We have Tatis. We have Manny. They have all shown it. There are other videos on all of them, so hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these. But the implications to me are serious here because past those three maybe guys that are like the certified all-stars, the Padres needed to not have a huge all-of-a-sudden drop-off into just that second tier. They needed to have some guys who were also right up there to be like, if you could, we need more stars than we need less stars. And I know that, and that sounds obvious, but it's something to say that like you need to not look over the issues in your lineup just because you're like, all right, well, if we get back to the top of the lineup, we've got these guys, or we got this permutation. Like, if the Padres can legitimately have 5 or 6 bats that can always be putting the ball in play, and then only have to have 1 or 2 guys that are a question mark, and then one guy, like, we'll give Diaz and Campy and anyone who's going to come to play catcher this year the pass or whatever. Like, if you can build a team like that, then it's really ready to take on the Dodgers. And that, as I said, is to me the ultimate formula for success is not having, okay, well, we need to get, there's runners on and we got this guy out, like just not giving the Dodgers any ability to pitch around people because Xander's up on deck. They're just going to be able to be like, oh, we're going to walk this guy to get to Xander type of thing because that's a guaranteed out. Like, if we can avoid the absolutism of that, then to me the implications are huge that the Padres are ready to take on the Dodgers. Let me know, though, what you think. Drop a comment below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We'll talk to you guys next time.